aired or screened at the Tribeca Film Festival, and they gave it a excellent review. So we're all looking forward to it. Very excited. That'll get you in the mood. Boy, we can't wait to welcome our next band. I want to let you know that as soon as this concert is over, they will be signing here on stage left, your right. So look for the Buckinghams out there. And they also have a CD out called Buckinghams Gold, which features all of the hits that you know and love and all of the regional hits from the Chicago area. So you guys ready for Kind of a Drag? Don't You Care? Mercy, Mercy, Susan. Hey baby, they're playing our song, all of them. Welcome for their first visit to Abbey Road on the River, the Buckinghams.
Thank you so much, thank you. We're gonna stick to that Summer of Love 1967. You guys made this a big hit for the Buckinghams. A song called Hey Baby, they're playing our song. Hey baby, they're playing our song. The one we used to hear when we used to get along. Hey baby, they're playing our song. Let's get back together, it's where we belong. It's the one with the pretty melody. It's the one that made you fall in love with me. It made us feel so groovy. We fell in love just Whoa, whoa. Good evening, everybody. How you doing out there? Woo. Woo. Abbey Road on the river. Boy, I'll tell you, we've been looking forward to coming here and playing for the whole past year when we found out we had the opportunity. So it's great to be here. The Beatles, yes. I probably don't need to say how much they meant to us. We all wanted to be the fifth Beatle, you know. And they were such an influence on the Buckinghams and all of us everywhere. The Cowsills, Grassroots coming up. You know, we're getting ready to do a long tour with all these acts that, of course, were influenced by the Beatles. But anyway, we'll get to that, and we're going to do a little Beatle music for you in a little while. And, you know, we're from Chicago. Anybody out there from the Windy City? Anyway, that's where we began in 1965. I started the Buckinghams with a few friends of mine, including this guy to my left here on the bass and vocals. Say hi to Nick Fortuna.
How y'all doing? 54 years ago, I met this guy in reform school. Just kidding. Another original Buckingham, Mr. Kyle Jimmerisi.
Thank you so much. You know, when we got our start, we were playing a lot around the Midwest mostly and around Chicago, and we finally had an opportunity to record an album called the Kind of a Drag album. And we had a few hits around the Midwest before Kind of a Drag came along for us. So we'd like to play for you right now. The first song we ever had played on the radio, it was 1966, I guess it was, and it was a cover song, an old James Brown song called I'll Go Crazy. It goes like this.
You know, we were kind of reminiscing, you know, back in the day, back in the 60s, in those late great 60s, we didn't have YouTube or VH1 or Facebook or anything. We had a lot of great TV shows though back in the day. You know, I heard Peter Asher talking about it a little bit this afternoon. But you know, the Buckinghams, we had the opportunity to appear on some of the great ones. You know, you'd record a new song, just like most of the bands back then. You'd record a new song, and if you were lucky, you'd be invited to perform on, let's say, American Bandstand. You remember? Yes. And there was the Jerry Lewis show and the Joey Bishop show, and there was, you know, a variety of different ones. But there was one show in particular that stands out. It was our first time out to the West Coast of California to do a TV show, and I'm sure you remember a little show called the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Yeah. Do you guys remember that theme song? Now, come on. Yeah. Anyway, we were so excited to get out there. It was our first time to California, so we get out to the studio and onto the sound stage, and ready to do a run through on our new song. And we look around, and the whole stage is dedicated. I can't even say this. Decorated. I knew I shouldn't have had that wine before I went on to. No, the stage was decorated with British flags. They had, the flags were hanging, the Union Jack.
Yeah.
You know, they thought the Buckinghams were a British group.
Yeah, I wonder why that happened.
They thought
we had Beatle
actually
haircuts, Edwardian suits, the Buckinghams. Come on, man. I don't care about that. Doesn't matter.
You don't care about that.
I don't care about it. Stage manager came up to me and said, "You guys did an absolutely marvelous sound check. You were great. It's time for dinner. Fish and chips. We're Italians from the west side of Chicago. Bring the sausage and peppers on. I want some linguine with red clams." Don't play that song, Bruce. Makes me cry. Don't do that.
All right.
Don't do that.
All right, this song went on to be, we did it on the Smothers Brothers show, and it went on, you guys made it a top 5 record for the Buckinghams. It was actually, next to Kind of a Drag, our biggest selling record. Thank you very much. We'd like to do it for you, kind of a bluesy song, R&B song that we had out in '67. A song called Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. Got it happening. Little blues. My baby, she made out of love. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, we were spending quite a bit of time out on the West Coast at that time. You know, we were recording a new album and doing a lot of different things, and all the teen magazine thing. And it was '67, like I said, the summer of love. And anyway, we were working pretty hard, actually, recording a new album called Portraits. And so we had a night off one night, and somebody said, you know, you got the night off, you should go down the hill, because we were up in the Hollywood Hills, down to the Sunset Strip, because there's a club there called the Whiskey A Go-Go. And you gotta go check out this band that's playing there, because everybody's going crazy over this band. And so we were very curious, and we had to find out what it was all about. So we made our way down there, and we walked in the club, and everybody was going crazy over these guys. And this was one of the songs they did, or like this. Come on, come on, come on, come on and touch me, babe. Can't you see that I am not afraid? What was the promise that you made? Won't you tell me what she said? What was that promise that you made? 'Cause I'm gonna love you till the heavens stop the rain. 'Cause I'm gonna love you till the stars fall from the sky. For you and I. Come on, come on, come on, come on and touch me, babe. Can't you see that I am not afraid? What was that promise that you made? Won't you tell me what she said? What was that promise that you made? 'Cause I'm gonna love you till the heavens stop the rain. 'Cause I'm gonna love you till the stars fall from the sky. For you and I. 'Cause I'm gonna love you till the heavens stop the rain. Yes, I'm gonna love you till the stars fall from the sky. For you and I. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great song, fun song to do. How you guys doing out there now, huh? We've been really enjoying ourselves. You know, we walked around here all last night and got to see what's going on. And what a great, beautiful, fabulous festival this is, and a tribute to the Beatles. How about it, man? This is so great. We're going to do something for you. Actually, it's not a surprise if we do a Beatles song, right, or two, whatever. But
We're not going to do 2 Beatles songs, Carl.
we're going to do like a bunch of them.
We're going to
Go
do
by
9
real quick.
or 10.
We used to do a Beatle medley back in the 80s that lasted about about 12 minutes, and it was about 20 Beatles songs. So we took a little portion of it, revived it, especially for this show, and we'd like to do it for you. Can we do it? Can we do it? We'll do it for you, starting with this song. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart.
I mean the Beatles, of course.
Yes. Thank you so much. You don't know what great pleasure it was to do that for you. It really was. A little tribute to the one and only, the Beatles, yes. Anyway, thank you all so much. Good night. Now, you know what? We're going to do something that we enjoy doing. You know, what got it really started for the Buckinghams was, I guess it was 1966 when we recorded this song, got in the studio and recorded a little 2.5-minute song called Kind of a Drag. And anyway, we didn't realize what we were doing was creating what was known as the pop rock horn sound. And, you know, the horns, there they are back there, horn guys tonight. We'll introduce them later. But anyway, so that's what happened. You know, we put the horns on Kind of a Drag. And in the meantime, you know, we had several hits, and we'd come back and forth into Chicago to hear some good friends of ours playing at a club in the city called Barnaby's, and the band was called The Big Thing, and they were just great players and great musicians and good friends of ours. And we kept trying to introduce them to our manager and record producer, Jim Garcia. We wanted him to hear them and sign them to a record deal if he could. And eventually he did come in and hear them and listened to them and loved what he heard and signed them, brought them out to LA, signed them to a record deal, and forgot all about us. No. Not really. But anyway, maybe you heard of them, a little group called Chicago. And we thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little tribute to them with a couple songs, starting with this one. Everybody, big hand for the horns back there. Art Cussler there on the trombone. Matt Yarbrough right there on the trombone. I think I got that right. I just got to make sure Reed over there on the saxophone. You know, these guys are from right here. Well, actually Louisville, right? You live in the Louisville area?
Carl, that's right over that bridge.
Right over the bridge. I wanted to get this in too. What was it? The Evansville Brass and Electric? Is that the band you guys have? Yeah. Well, we're so happy that they were able to join us tonight. And once more, give them a big hand because they deserve it.
Homegrown, y'all.
Girl, I heard you're getting married. Heard you're getting married. This time you're really sure. And this is the hour. They say you really mean it. This guy's the one that makes you feel so safe, so sane, and so secure now. Baby, he loves you more than me. Then maybe it's the best thing. Maybe it's the best thing for you. But it's the worst that could happen to me. I'll never get married. Never get married. You know that's not my sin. But a girl like you needs to be married. I've known all along you couldn't last forever. Between now, baby, if you love you more than me, then maybe it's the best thing. Maybe it's the best thing for you. But it's the worst that could happen. Oh, to me. And girl, I don't really blame you for having a dream of your own. And girl, I don't really blame you. A woman like you needs a house and a home, baby. If he really loves you more than me, then maybe it's the best thing. Maybe it's the best thing for you. But it's the worst that could happen. Oh, girl, I'm never gonna marry no. Oh, the worst that could happen. I'm never gonna marry no. It's the worst that could happen to me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The Brooklyn Bridge, that was a great one, I'll tell you. We're gonna do a song, you know, our Chicago roots, a lot of great bands from the 60s were spawned from that time era. Some of the Chicago bands that most of you probably don't remember, groups like the Crying Shames and the New Colony Six and the Ides of March. And there was one group in particular called the American Breed, and Gary Loizo had a #1 record with this song, and unfortunately, we did a TV PBS special called The Cornerstones of Rock, and he left this world soon after that, but we thought it'd be great to do a little tribute to that song, a song I'm sure you remember called Bend Me, Shape Me. Thank you so much, thank you. You know, I mentioned all those great TV shows back in the 60s, but there's one in particular that stands out for us more than any other. And if you were invited on to perform your new record on that show, you knew you really made it. It was the epitome of success, the really big show. You know what I'm talking about. The really big
show. Young boys from Chicagoland coming to the Sullivan Theater to do the Sullivan Show. Buckingham Band. Mrs. Sullivan has a big crush on the lead singer of Buckinghams. says he's a real snappy dresser, but a terrible kisser. What? Before we bring on Buckingham band, we'd like to bring on a little French from across the seas, Chopo Chicho, and the Flying Lindas.
Are you done now? Get out. How about Ed Sullivan with a ponytail now? Come on now, give it up to him. What the heck? All right, this song made its debut on the Ed Sullivan Show, and it went on to be a big hit for us thanks to you guys. It sold millions. And I hope we have some beautiful, lovely Susans out there. I know we do. This goes out to you. It goes out to everybody, actually. A song called Susan. Thank you.
I'm losing my mind. I'm wasting my time. Susan, do you have to be confusing? I ask myself why you're saying goodbye. No other girl could ever take the place of you. Though you hurt me, you know I'll always be thinking of you. Girl, I love you. Yes. No other girl could ever take the place of you. Though you hurt me, you know I'll always be thinking of you. Girl, I love you. Come on, help me.
I do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys having a good time now? Come on. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. You know, we're going to bring a good friend of ours up here. Some of you may be familiar with Jay Gebner. Jay has become a staple of Abbey Road on the river. Here he is. And a good friend from Chicago. We've known him for many years. I'm going to put you on this one. And we're going to try this. We haven't really tried this together, so we're going to just try it and see what happens.
Let's hear it for my Chicagoland heroes, the Buckinghams. I think you'll all know this one. That boy took my love away, though he'll regret it someday. But this boy wants you back again.
Jay Gepner.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Nick.
Carl
Thank you,
Gibberish
Gary
here,
Jacobs.
Jay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ah, that was great.
I guess he wants me to sing, so I will. How y'all doing? Right after our show, we're going to be someplace to say hi to everybody that wants to come by, so please do. Yeah, whatever. And tonight when you get home, thebuckinghams.com. Check us out. You can befriend Dave. He always likes to talk to people on the computer, so, you know. Hope you enjoy. Come on, look in my direction. Always best way to your heart. Expressway, that's the best way. There are too many ahead of me, and they all try to get in front of me. I've been thinking about a shortcut I could take, but it seems like I made a mistake. 'Cause I've been wrong, baby, much too long. All been calling the shot. First time too shy. Use love and affection. Come on, look in my direction. Expressway to your heart. Expressway, that's the best way. At 5 o'clock. But too crowded, too crowded, too crowded, too crowded. But too crowded, too crowded. change. You may get disgusted, start thinking that it's strange. That case I go on the ground, get some heavy rest. Never have to worry, no, about what's worse, what is best. Yeah. Oh, damn it. All over around me, there you go now. Lord have mercy, I said now. Oh, damn it. All over around me, there you go now. I said, Lord have mercy, said now. Oh, damn it. I said, oh, damn it. Not dead. One more time. There no need for argument. There no argument at all. And if you never hear from him, that just means he can call. Oh, vice versa. That depends on wherever you're at. And if you never hear from me, that just means I've been rather not. Yeah. Oh, damn it. All over around me, there you go now. Lord have mercy, I said now. Oh, damn it. All over around me, there you go now. I said, Lord have mercy, said now. Oh, damn it. Come on, y'all, help me out just one more time. Oh, damn it. You sounded good, I did. If you hear the noise, it's me and the boys. Get down. That's right. Don't hurt yourself. Now make it funky, Carl. Brother Dave, help out. Yo, boo, you know what to do. Come on and tighten up. You can do it. Come on and tighten up. You can do it. Now make it better. Good God. There's no need for argument. There's no argument at all. And if you never hear from him, that just means he can call. Oh, damn it. All over around me, there you go now. Lord have mercy, I said now. Oh, damn it. All over around me, there you go now. I said, Lord have mercy, said now. Oh, damn it. I need your help just one more time. Oh, damn it. You sounded so good. Hey, Mr. DJ, I just want to hear a little bit blues. On radio, on radio, on radio, on radio. Hit me, man. I need my horns.
Mr. Nick Fortuna! Nick Fortuna!
I think you guys are having a good time tonight, huh? All right. Well, I want to say, and we mean this sincerely, we are so grateful that not only we were allowed to participate in Abbey Road on the River this year, but want to thank everybody who still supports this great music that we made back in the 60s and the late 60s. Sincerely, we couldn't still be out here if you guys weren't coming out to hear us play, and I think I speak for everyone when I say that too. And anyway, we are very grateful. And let's not forget that's what's coming up on Monday, and that we should say our thoughts and prayers and tributes to all the men and women that are serving us all over the world, how much it means to us. Anyway, let me introduce you. I introduced you to the horn guys earlier, and quickly here, let me start with, to my right here, on the guitar and vocals from South Bend, Indiana, Mr. Dave Zane. He's been with us a long time.
Indiana.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah. And all the way to my right, on the keyboards and vocals, this guy's been with us playing with the Buckinghams for about 35 years now. So on keyboards and vocals from Chicago, Illinois, Mr. Bruce Selberoff over there.
And way back on the drums, our answer to Sylvester Stallone. From Chicago, Illinois, Mr. Rocky Penn.
Rocky. It's the...
Stand up, Rock. Good, stand up. That's all you stand up.
Anyway, we'd like to do this last song for you. It's a song that got it all started for the Buckinghams way back in, it was February of 1967 when it knocked the Monkees, I'm a Believer, right off the, knocked them right off the #1 spot. Right off the #1 spot. We took over, But it became a #1 record for us thanks to all of you, and we'd like to do it for you. It goes like this, Kind of a Drag.
Drag when you know she's been untrue. Oh, listen to what I've gotta say, girl. I still love you. I'll always love you.
The Buckinghams! The Buckinghams have merchandise right over here, but if you don't like waiting in lines, we have a Buckinghams, Cow Sills, and Grassroots. Drumhead, we're going to auction off in just a few minutes. We just need to switch something on the stage, and we'll be right back. Stick around. We have the Grassroots closing out the A stage tonight.